mic is rolling and
Rolling.
let's see. 3, 2, 1. Hi, my name is Aditya and this is my KTM RC390. This is the 2017 model. That basically means this is a BS4 motorcycle. And when the motorcycle went from BS3 to BS4, it lost somewhat performance. So just to compensate that, I have done some kind of modification. Actually not some, but a lot of modification and some dynamic changes of the chassis, some cosmetic upgrades, and I will run you through them in this video. So let's get started with this. So the first thing that I'm gonna talk you through is the visor. And I'm sure this is a very common modification that you've seen on RC125, RC200, KTM RC390. But this was not really an easy job, I'll tell you why. Because the fairing meets at this point. So there is this panel, the fairing, and there is this mold. And this is the mounting point for the visor. So everything comes to one fold and it is held by a couple of screws together. So this is not a factory piece, okay? This is an altered aftermarket visor, and this is a replica of what the Cup motorcycles are in USA, okay? One make championship. So this is it. It covers the headlight as well, and if you are concerned ki this will cover up your headlight throw, it will reduce your headlight's span or field of vision. It is not the case, trust me. There was no difference in the performance of the headlight. I was still very amazed. Also, another thing, the mirror mounting points. These mirror mounting points, they are not, they don't fit like a glove. Okay, you have to alter them. You have to hammer it a little. I even broke the visor somewhere over here while I was fixing the mirrors on it, and the screws are not really original because the length of the original screw is not the accurate size what this visor requires. So a lot of things went into this, a lot of energy, effort, and we literally needed 3 people to hold the fairing together and then one to mount the visor on it and then screw it all together. So it was a tough job. That was because my mechanical skills are maybe poorer than yours. Maybe if you're smart at it, I think you can do it in a much smoother format. But that's about it. And this visor costed me around 3,000 rupees. Now I'm sure there might be people who might get it to you for cheap, but I was in desperate need for getting a visor, and so anyway I had to spend 3,000 rupees for this very visor. So the next thing in the list is the brake master cylinder. This is from RCB. If I'm not wrong, their company is from Thailand. My friend is a dealer, so he got me this at a very good price. So this is a radial master cylinder. From the factory you get a axial master cylinder. So the advantage that you get is you get decent enough feedback from this master cylinder on the lever. You are very well aware if the motorcycle is stopping or not stopping, or even if you need to increase or decrease your braking force. So all those kind of things are sensed on the lever for the rider over here. Also it can, if you loosen the screw up here, you can change the angle of the brake lever. The brake reservoir is outside the brake pump, so that basically makes it look a lot cooler. There is a wire that goes from the underneath of the brake pump. So whenever you press the brake lever, the wires or the sensor sort of senses that you've applied brakes, and that turns on the brake light at the back. Now this costed me around 8,000 rupees, 8.5 to be very precise. And then I also went in for 5.1 brake oil, so which is recommended. The only negative thing is that I like it, but I'm just saying it is negative because this might not be welcome by all riders. This is a very short lever, okay? So compared to the stock lever, this lever is really very short. So you have to, be aware that you don't really have a lot of lever to play with, okay? And the second negative is that you don't get a clutch lever with it. So the only lever, my clutch lever is a stock unit, okay? But thankfully that is also adjustable, so I'm not losing much on that. But this is not very much adjustable. Like on the go, you need a screw to adjust the angle, an Allen key to adjust the angle. But you can also twist this screw over here and set the reach of the brake lever according to your choice. So now the brake pump is RCB. This is far superior. If I'm not wrong, this is a 16 mm. This is a 17 mm unit. You also get a 16 mm, which is suitable for motorcycles up to 250 cc. and there is an 18 unit that is suitable for big bikes like the ZX6R, the Daytona. So the advantage is the bigger the size of the piston, more the force goes in. So that is how the brake piston, radial brake piston concept works. Also, I have put Veshra brake pads in the front and the rear. So now the Veshra brake pads are ceramic coated or something of that sort, which gets which is like $1,000 for one piece or one set. So 1,000 rupees in the front, 1,000 at the back. So my whole braking setup in the front, somewhat in the rear, is upgraded to a decent amount that I am getting a lot of stopping power from this setup. Also, what I have ordered for is a GP racing brake disc. I don't really have it right now with me, but I will put in a photograph because it is on the way. So it will be shipped from Thailand to Chennai and Chennai to here in Mumbai. So that is costing me around 9,500 to 10,000 rupees. The advantage of that disc is it is lightweight, so the brakes don't really have to work a lot to grab it. The unsprung mass or the rotational mass is actually a lot less, so the brakes can work better than what this setup is. So this is a stock 320 brake disc, 230 at the back. So that will be the same size, but it will always have less mass. So my braking will really improve like by leaps and bounds. So the next thing on my motorcycle here is this quick release gas tank cap. Okay, this sounds cool. That is exactly why I got this. Okay, but it was a very bad idea because I'll tell you that this is not a perfect flush fit, of course. So if you observe here closely, I had to put in packing like a tire tube or some kind of a sealant on this. Okay, the screws that hold this cap together in place is actually they are rusting. Also, if you come here closer and take a top view of this, the ring of the fuel filler cap and the mouth of the fuel tank, they are not aligned, so it doesn't really fit flush with the fuel tank. That said, there is a lot of gap or a lot of panel gaps between the actual cap and the fuel tank, and the fuel actually overspills from the tank. So there are fade points on my panels here. This is faded because the fuel spills over it. If I'm going very fast on a speed bump or everything, I cannot tank up my gas to the brim because it will spill either from the top or underneath from the panel itself, and it will come out from there everywhere. So this costed me around 1,250 rupees. So it doesn't really seem that much. Also, I got it from AliExpress, so I don't think so you might get it right now because the trade is not happening as frequent as it was. So, but if you're planning for this, I recommend do not go with this because this evaporates the fuel within the tank. So I mean, the minute you are not using the motorcycle for a very long time, you are actually losing fuel because the gas is just vaporizing. So the next thing is purely for dynamic upgrades, chassis dynamic upgrades. You see the stock foot pegs of the KTM RC series, of this generation RC series, they were not so high set. They were rear set, but they weren't so high set. So as a rider, even on public roads, I used to feel that I will end up scraping the foot pegs, and it is not really safe. So I went in for the rear set foot pegs. These are machined foot pegs. They have a very nice aluminium finish. Also, they have 6 different settings so that you can choose to keep it very aggressive or very comfortable according to your personal preference. And they don't have a rubber top as you see on a standard foot peg. So they are very very race oriented, track oriented. Not really advisable for the streets, but okay, I'm making do with it. However, there is multiple levels of settings. You can get 6 settings. Right now I am at the exact middle setting. Okay, and so when you order these, what do you get is you get this mountings for the rear brake pump, an adjustable brake lever or gear lever that's on the other side. Everything mounts on the stock screws of the swing arm, and that's about it. So you don't really have to, and whatever you need they will give you in the package. So now this was ordered from AliExpress again, but this was ordered in 2019 September. I'm having this since past 2 years, and I've been using them since past 1 year. They are a little expensive, but I think they are worth the price. I've dropped the motorcycle twice on either side, but no damage is there, thankfully. The cost is 7,000 rupees, and I think it is a very good price for. I think it's a very good price for such a thoughtful performance modification. Or it's not really a performance modification, but even if you have a stock motorcycle, it will really help you in terms of dynamics. So another modification, this is again a very common thing that you see on many super sport motorcycles or a sports tourer motorcycle or even a naked motorcycle. Anybody who has a little bit of a sporty motorcycle, they go for tank grips. Costed me around 750 rupees, again on AliExpress. Not very grippy now because I've been using them for past 1 year or 1.5 years. So over a period of time they have lost their grip, but again, if I'm wearing my touring pants and they also have some kind of a nice grip at the recess of the knees, so if I can tuck them thoroughly on this panel somewhere around here, I get enough grip to hold myself into the saddle and accelerate really hard, corner dive, butt shift, everything. Rolling. So Zana saddle stay. There is a different video on how to install this on the motorcycle that you can find on my channel. There will be a link somewhere in the description, or you can search for it. But anyway, it is a very rare thing to see something like this on a super sport or a track oriented motorcycle. I use them because I need place to mount my saddlebags. I always prefer saddlebags because they keep the weight even. A top box will sort of change the center of gravity of the motorcycle, and that is sensed while you're riding really fast and hard. This actually is a more easier setup because the balance of the chassis is still in your control. So I think I got them for around 3,200 rupees. So these are Zana saddle stays, but I got them from a place called Crossroads, that is in Mira Road. They are the dealers for Zana, if I'm not wrong. So I don't think so Zana actually makes them anymore, okay? But I'm glad I got these because I'm sure there will be nothing like this for a track motorcycle anywhere in the world. So the quality is nice. I have been using them rigorously for the past 2.5, 3 years, almost 2.5 years. So that is why you can see some age, scratches, dents. I've been very careless with it. I've dropped the motorcycle with them, and because they were on the motorcycle, I could actually, be a little carefree. Nothing was damaged. This saved my exhaust. That's actually a big deal. So the next big thing on the motorcycle is the exhaust system. I like to call it the whole system because I'm running on a semi-free flow kind of a setup. This is the mid pipe, which is directly connected to the exhaust header. Now this eliminates the cat. So this is a complete catalytic converter delete setup. There is no big drum kind of a thing which used to be here. Now there is a complete cavity, and you can see there is a lot of space in this area. That is connected to the end can connector over here, and now this barrel exhaust is my third exhaust end can. The first two were just Chinese replicas. They weren't really that good, but they did their job. But now this barrel exhaust, I'm going to walk you through this a little later. But speaking of the cat delete, that sounds horrible. It is directly connected to the exhaust header, and this has given me so much performance gain. I cannot even emphasize enough on how fast this motorcycle has become. It has become annoyingly loud, but the motorcycle pulls gaps on old Duke 390s, and to an extent with some 650s as well. So the end can, this is provided from Barrel Exhaust. They are based in Bangalore. The end can itself is around 12,000 rupees, and this is my third end can, like I said earlier in the video as well. The best thing is that this is a direct fit on KTM Husqvarna motorcycles. This has a universal mouth at the end. This is hung by a custom made exhaust hanger. Now this is made by my friend. He goes by the name Street Star Customs, so that is why you can see a star out here. He's the same guy who's made this paddock stand, which you can move the motorcycle on. Coming back to the exhaust, this is very robust. There will be another exhaust unboxing video on the YouTube channel on my YouTube channel. You can listen to the exhaust note there, the complete unboxing, fitting, and all of those exhaust related things. That all the details you will find on that very video. Okay, the next thing on this motorcycle is a roll-on sprocket. Now, most of you will question that why is it a modification? It is just a brass or a copper plated chain. Now the modification here is that I am running a different size for the larger sprocket, the driven sprocket. The factory sprocket is 1545, but I am running on a 1544 setup. So that basically does is gives me a wider gear ratio. So whatever power that I have, I'm extracting from this engine, the power plant, I'm able to harness that very well because I can have a longer drive in almost every gear. So, and also I don't have to worry about multiple downshifts which will end up locking my rear. Of course, this motorcycle has a slipper clutch, but you know, I am not really overworking the slipper clutch as well. So yeah, so 44 teeth. Now the roll-on sprocket kit is for around 3,000 rupees if I'm not wrong, 3,000 rupees or 3,200 rupees. But I had to purchase this one sprocket, 44 teeth sprocket from KTM dealership. So this sprocket costed me around 800 rupees, and yes, you can get one single sprocket if you wish to for your KTM, Husqvarna or Bajaj motorcycles, because that is what they've adopted. So you can walk into your service center, ask for a sprocket. Now this sprocket belongs to 2017, 2018, 2019 Duke 390. And this is a direct fit, so the PCDs are same because the alloy wheels are same. So yes, you don't really have to work much. So a 2017 sprocket, Duke 390 sprocket, which is a 44 teeth, will fit on this motorcycle very easily, and you will get a longer drive out of corners or power pulls very easily. Okay. So the last bit on the motorcycle is the Apollo Alpha H1 tires. Now they are desi to begin with, but surprisingly grippy, but not as grippy as Metzeler or Pirellis or even what do you say, MRFs. MRFs were really grippy if they were hot enough, but these tires are quite hard. Yeah, I've taken them on different terrains. I've got enough grip from them, and no punctures so far. I've done around 2,000 kilometers on old Goa, Mumbai, Pune roads. They were filled with gravels and everything. So grip levels impressive, but not as much as Metzelers or Pirelli. Now that is the best suited setup for KTMs and most 300cc motorcycles. But the key element is the price. So I've got these for 10 grand a set, 10,000 rupees for a set, which is really good deal, because Metzelers start from 15,000, Pirellis start from 18,000 or somewhere there. So now this actually, and the best thing is now they have a very good dive into the corner. Feedback is nice, and now as they are aging, the grip is improving, and I am really counting more on these tires than some other manufacturer. So the last bit is the air filter and the Iridium spark plug. Now I've got them from Sniper Auto. Now he's the same fellow who's given me the roll-on sprocket chain kit. That said, the spark plug was for 600-700 rupees if I'm not wrong, and the air filter was very close to 5,000 rupees or below 5,000 rupees actually. So now that has also improved my performance because I am running on a free flow exhaust as well. So the whole breathing system of the motorcycle has enhanced itself by more air and more gas there's more place for air to go in and more place for air to come out with the exhaust system. And because of the Iridium plugs, it is burning very well. So now these are the modifications that I have done on the motorcycle. Now bear in mind, now this is not for track use, this is for my personal use, and I have set up the motorcycle to suit my usability. Now you tell me which things do you especially like, or how will they suit you for your usability. And everything that I've worked on my motorcycle, I will put a link in the description. You can check that out with the price and with from the place or the contact from where I've got the things. So you can just go into the description and find what you're trying to look for. Also, do let me know what do you think of this setup. It is kind of racy, kind of everyday, and kind of more utilitarian because of the saddle racks. And that said, now the whole point of making this was to make the motorcycle a little bit faster than what 390s are. I do not want to go and compete against 600cc motorcycles because now they are way ahead or just too much in power to beat. Of course, my motorcycle is just faster than any other 390. Okay, and now of course it does make a difference that I am not that of a skilled rider, so that also plays the card. That being said, this setup just makes me happy, makes me go faster, makes me go easy the way I want to, the things that I'm looking out from a motorcycle. So yep, do let me know if you like it, or do let me know if you think this is not really that suitable, or you do let me know what I should do next on the motorcycle. But before that, I let me tell you that this whole setup actually was done because I did not want to just put in a Powertronic plug and play and increase the power of the motorcycle. You see, this is not just a way to increase power, but a way to harness power as much as I can. So my motorcycle has more usable power than any other 390s, the Duke 390 or the RC 390. So I am able to use a lot of power and put it on the ground. That will translate to speed, performance, whatever you want to call it. Okay. But again, that being said, the next modification for this motorcycle will be Powertronic with a quick shifter, because that is what I miss. When BS6 motorcycle came out, it had a two-way quick shifter up and down, and that sort of makes me a little jealous. So I will try to go that Powertronic's way and put a quick shifter in the motorcycle. Because I have a ride-by-wire, it should be an easy plug and play. However, that video is for some other day. Let's see how it goes. Until then, I have a few other projects lined up. So if you know, you know. Now the next project is I'll see you in some other video.